Okay, it's another day of video. On our last video, we talked on market structure. Today, I want to talk on supply and demand zones. Supply and demand zones. Just a short video. I'm going to use both higher highs and higher low, uptrend and downtrend. Now, for uptrend, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This is your high, this is your low, this is your high, this is your low, your high, your low, your high, and your low. So this one is for uptrend. This for uptrend. Now, this is your demand zone. Oh, sorry. This is your supply zone. This is your demand zone. Your demand zone is where buyers want to take over the market, while your supply zone is where sellers want to take over the market. So this is just a show of a simple market structure: higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher highs. So on your chart, if you check your chart, you will see something like this, but maybe in a zigzag form because of the candlesticks movement and depending on your time frame also. But we just want to talk on supply and demand zone. You can trade supply and demand zone if you understand how the market works and how the time frame navigates. Like personally for me, sometimes I trade supply and demand zone on 5 minutes time frame or 15 minutes time frame. So if market is retracing, which is a pullback, market went up like this and is retracing. It's retracing because this supply zone, the sellers which are here, they are selling down, so they are pushing the market down. So they will push the market down to a demand zone. So this place automatically becomes a demand zone. Now when it gets to this place, buyers are already here. They're already waiting under this zone. So they will push the market up again to break this structure. This one is your break of structure. I will still talk on break of structure another video. So the buyers will push the market up to break this structure, making this low, this high, weak high, because on an uptrend we have strong lows and weak highs. Uptrend, you have strong lows, then weak highs, because this low is being protected while this high is weak. So the buyers push the market above this weak low. Then the sellers again come to this supply zone. This is another supply zone. The sellers on this supply zone push the market downwards to this level again, making here another demand zone. Then they push the market up to your supply zone again. Then the sellers on this supply zone push the market down, forming another demand zone. So this is how the market works. This, you have supply, which is for sellers, and demand, which is for buyers. So you can trade this supply and demand zone. You can trade supply and demand zone very easy. You can trade supply and demand zone. So on your time frame, you can check, let's say 5 minutes or 15 minutes. You can first, you have to know the trend of the market. You have to get first the trend of the market. Now once you've gotten your trend, if you want to trade this supply and demand zone, once you've gotten your trend, you can now move to 15 minutes or 5 minutes. You can now move to 15 minutes or 5 minutes. Now on your 15 minutes or 5 minutes, what you'll be looking for, you've already determine the trend of the market. Maybe it's a bullish trend. You already discovered that, okay, on daily time frame, what I saw is a bullish trend. So what you are looking for, or your 15 minutes or 5 minutes, is a bullish trend. You are looking for a buy. So once you enter your 15 minutes or 5 minutes, you are now looking for a buy trend. You are not looking for either you are looking for a pullback, so that you can buy, because market is already buying. You can actually still look for sales. If you are smart, you can still look for sales. You look for sales to run for the pullback to come, then you buy. So you look for sell again for the pullback to come, then you buy. So this is how you trade supply and demand. So very easy and very simple. You just have to know where market is going to retrace to, because that is the major thing. Because sometimes markets can, like for instance, for this scenario now, okay, let me clean this thing first. Let me explain something. Okay, so as I was saying, for the supply and demand zone, you must also be very very careful, so that you will not miss your POI, or sometimes you enter too early or too late. So what you will do that can also help in trading supply and demand zone is, when you see market retracing, maybe you've already drew your demand zone here, waiting for market to come to this zone, then you buy to another supply zone. Market may just come this way, come to this point. Market may come to this level, then come down a bit. It will not touch this point, it will not touch your demand zone, then it will go up a little bit again, come down to this, go up a little, then come down before touching your demand zone, then do the major buy. It's still supply and demand, but it's just that it took a little bit longer before it mitigated this your demand zone. You see that? So you have to be able to know when to enter the trade. So you have to stay and observe the move. And one of the way you can actually know that market wants to buy, even when it has touched your demand zone, because sometimes market may even touch your demand zone and not buy immediately. It may come, let me use another example. It may come to this point, then you just rush in thinking market wants to buy now, you just rushed in, then market just does something like this, then come down, it will just eat your SL. So what can you do? One thing you can do that can also help you, this thing is not cleaning up. Okay, one thing you can do that can also help you in a scenario like this is, when market pulls back to this level and you already draw your stuff, you want to take the trade, market is in this level, what you wait for market to retrace. You wait for market to go up first, do this first buy, then retrace. Then once it comes down here, then you wait for what market is going to do at this moment. Because if market is going to buy, it's going to go back up again. Then you wait for market to go after coming down a little bit. This one is when you are using the 5 minutes time frame, because it's easier on 5 minutes or 15 minutes. It's easier because the time frame is very very tiny. So when it comes down, then you wait for market to come to this level, then go back again. The moment market break this little structure here, is already buying. You can now enter the trade. Because if you just jump on the trade here at this moment, market may come down and hit your SL. But the moment market comes to this level, goes up again and break this structure, you can enter the trade. Market is already buying. That is how people catch the sniper, some of the sniper entries they're talking about. So this is how you trade supply, and everything I've explained on this demand zone applies also on the supply zone for lower lows, lower high. If you are selling, everything I explained here, you just opposite of, you just take it opposite of the supply zone. Supply zone, um lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Supply zone, this is your supply zone, supply zone, supply zone. These are your demand zones. So what happens when market comes to this level? It goes up again. So you're waiting on your supply zone, waiting at your supply zone to sell down to this level. Then when buyers push again, you're waiting at your supply zone to sell down to these levels. The same thing, push again, waiting at your supply zone to sell down to this level. So that is just how it works for this. You sell down, you buy up, you sell down, you buy up, you sell down, you buy up. So whatever you are doing, make sure you are always checking market structure, because anything market is doing is maintaining market structure, is maintaining market will always maintain market structure. It will never move against market structure. We will always have higher highs and higher lows inside the market. We always have lower lows and lower highs. So whether the market is, whatever it's doing is the structure. So you have to be careful to know when market is changing structure, when market is still breaking, is still continuing the structure, just breaking structure, or just doing some stuff in the market. So it's good you pay attention to these stuff. So again, I'll make another video to talk on other blocks and change of character. I hope this video help you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on TikTok, King Roy.